question page 108 में kindly change. The grievance of the petition.
101.
108.
108.
So the grievance of the petitioner before the honorable court is to the effect that though the petitioner had attempted the question correctly, not the option which he has chosen is stated to be wrong option, and that is how not is deprived of the marks.
Which is the question?
88.
88.
जी सर. गुलनो समानार्थी शब्द शोधो. गुलाब, प्रगुल, गायब, and gulal. These are the 4 options. According to the respondent authority, option number 4 is the correct option. Or the petitioner had attempted option 3, that is gayab. But I have placed on record.
પ્રસૂન અને ગુલાબ.
પ્રસૂન, ગુલાબ કેલું છે સાહેબ?
હા, પછી ચોથું કયું છે?
ગુલાલ.
ગુલાલ.
જી સર.
આ એ જ છે ને? આજે જ છે ને મિસ્ટર દેવ?
The notice came to be issued by this honorable court.
See, mister, who is appearing? See, look at this. Question 88. For this question, ambiguity is found. If an institution is a company is not fit to take examination, cancel the examination. For how many times you will keep rectifying these kind of mistakes? And this is accepted by you. I cannot enter into, see, you have considered 2 and 4. No, just like in another exam that Mr. Vaibhav Vyas was referring to, when ambiguity was found, you cancelled entire exam. You do something which may give fair chance to every candidate. For how many times, suppose if 5 lakh persons have appeared in the examination, some questions, now here at least they have accepted that there is an ambiguity. So that is a welcome sign. But at the same time, it also indicates that their system of taking examination is also not foolproof. They are also committing mistake even after charging FT amount. But here at least they have accepted it. Then how many questions are such wherein either they have accepted the mistake or there are allegations that correct answer is, despite giving correct answer, the same is considered as incorrect answer. See, not like, no, Mr. Pandya, tell me one thing. If the authority, if the company which has taken the examination is empowered to accept the objections, then you may never get the correct idea. Suppose if they have received, say, 1,000 application, and now with advancement of technology, suppose if they show only 300 applications as objections, then nothing remains in your control. You will have to go by their words. How do you determine that in case actually how many objections they have received? Because you have given entire control to them. Mark objections. So how would you know how many objections are there? How would you know about the grievance of the students? No, you said that that company will receive the application, that company will receive the objections. I understand if you receive it and you forward it to them, then it's a different thing. You will get a fair idea about the grievance of the candidates. But you have given full control to them. So you will, except for paying them the charges for conducting the examination, you will not be knowing anything. You will not have any control over it. How will you know if, I understand that usually they would work very professionally. But suppose if after some time you find that their system also was not up to the mark, then there is nothing in your control whereby you can cross-check. Today I can see that despite having a zeal to do something better, you are helpless, because every time, though the state is party, you are saying that nothing, we have not done anything, everything was done by them, so let them appear and answer. They are not state. We don't know which kind of experts they have engaged. And in fact, prima facie, it seems that number of litigation is increased after this. When the things were under your control, at least for every single question, I have not come across petitions like this. This is 4th or 5th petition. પહેલા એક પ્રશ્ન બાબતની હતી, પછી ગયા વખતે 3 પ્રશ્ન બાબતની મેટર હતી, 2 પ્રશ્નની, આ એક પ્રશ્નની. But thankfully, at least here you have accepted. So, I understand computerized. All that I am suggesting you is that have the control with you. Why you? I understand. See, rectification, I understand. See, for you, it's rectification. For a candidate who is appearing in the examination, he he will remain uncertain about his fate. Suppose if today, on account of one question, a person would be in a position to meet with the cutoff marks. The moment you rectify the mistake, he may not find his name in that merit. એક અડધા માર્કનો પણ ફરક પડી જાય ને આમાં તો. You are right, but at the same time, why you are allowing such kind of, they can filter their system. They can have 2-tier, 3-tier system. Why they are engaging only one expert? There may be a committee of experts, or even that experts, this question paper can be reviewed by other experts. If you consider only one person expert and then found that there are lot many mistakes committed by that so-called expert, then this every rectification not only prolong this recruitment, but it also increases the litigation. And ultimately sufferer are the candidates and the state, because state will have to face the litigation. You are ultimately responsible for that. And company only earns. They are least bothered about the future of this candidate and which kind of candidate would be selected by the state. What penalty? Penalty would be of that peanuts as compared to the amount of contract. You'll have to take some concrete steps. And we don't have the scarcity of experts. Yes, even in government organizations also, you will find some really good officers who can take up the challenge and meet with the expectations of everyone. Yes, take their services instead of paying this hefty amount to companies and then finding it embarrassing to defend yourself in the court on account of some mistake committed by the company. But that technology should not be at the cost of merit. You'll have to utilize your resources rather than see, at least here, prima facie, I find that state is not at fault. You just, with a view to have some better changes, you entrusted the responsibility to some private company, and ultimately they did not perform that job to your expectation. True, but you can use the technology, but at least you can use the technology, but at least this paper setting and all you can keep with you. Ultimate control. Yes.
Agency is the board lot.
See, you can set, Mr. You can set standard for yourself. It is the state which is amenable to RTI and all. So their standard would be much higher as compared to a private company. Suppose if today, except for the court, some candidate applies before the company and say that, who are the experts? Give me the details. Whether your contract... And whether any standard for these experts are set. And only one person, or there is a panel of experts. But can get all these instructions. And these papers are also set by experts, or they will only review the paper which is before them. Then file reply, and because one or two matter I understand, but repeated such kind of mistakes would only disappoint the candidates. Their faith in the system would be shaken. And that's not a welcome sign.
One more thing which I would like to bring to the notice of this honorable court. For the candidates made representations to the authorities of the court as well. But this is because there's not only the kind of court. But they can take over whatever decision they may take, but the language which is used in the last line may kind of say. So these are the candidates who are making representation to the authorities.
See, mister. See, rest of the things are okay.
That is the only.
ના એ example ની વાત તો પછી, but whether such kind of tweet would suit any public authority. And who is he? He's second. He enjoys second highest position in the organization. I heard or read in the newspaper recently that now the chairman is changed, but this and that also on a public domain. He should delete such kind of tweet immediately. If he may have his views, he may have the views which are not acceptable to others,
Certainly.
but he should not make. Yes, he must restrain his feelings or views, and no unnecessary word is required to be stated on any public domain. And I understand if some person holding post of class 3 or 4 without knowing anything about the implications of this kind of language tweets, he is a responsible officer in charge of affairs. Yes, ask him to edit this tweet immediately. This is not proper. Notice returnable on when that matter is coming up.
It is today.
Ajay,
It is today.
I'm keeping it on 23rd. Notice returnable on 23rd, and come with some solution. How many matters you will keep defending their action? Mr. Pandya, question is, imposing penalty upon the company will not redress the grievance of these candidates. It may be for your satisfaction that you have taken stern action against the company, but what about the future of these candidates? Mr. Pandya, it's like, suppose if 3 questions are cancelled and pro rata marks are given to everyone, the real sufferer would be the brilliant candidates, because if those questions were not incorrect, some brilliant candidate would have attended the questions and they could have secured those 3 marks. But therefore, don't tolerate discrepancies. That's what I'm saying. But that will be a similar treatment which will be received by everyone, and therefore આખું મેરિટ 3 માર્ક ઊંચું જતું રહે. પેલામાં એવું થાય કે જે હોશિયાર વિદ્યાર્થી હોય એને 3 માર્કનો બેનિફિટ મળે. એટલે suppose if today someone is at serial number 1000 in the merit with addition of 3 marks, if there is a uniform addition, then that will not change the merit. That will, whosoever has attempted the question will get that mark. Then that will not have any, but then that will not have any impact on the final result, because everyone will get 3 marks more, and therefore a brilliant student who otherwise could have marched over others will not be benefited because of that. If a person, see, there are some candidates would be such that they would be appearing in the examination with less preparation on account of many circumstances. There may be certain persons who will not let any stone unturned in clearing the examination. So therefore, and there are parameters in papers also about how difficulty level. Suppose if out of 100, 10 questions would have the highest difficulty level, then only genius or very brilliant students only would be in a position to attempt those questions. Suppose if those 3 questions are cancelled, then the marks, the level of difficulty which you have specifically kept for brilliant students, those 3 questions would be wasted. And therefore, brilliant student who will otherwise secure 3 more marks than average student, they will not get chance to prove their brilliance and march ahead of others. But why are you allowing these kind of things? But that is wrong. Only successful person should get the benefit, not everyone.
No, the purpose of
Mr. Pandya, it's like when there is mass promotion, you cannot differentiate that who is the most brilliant student in the class and who is the weakest student in the class. So it's like mass promotion. For 3 questions. Yes. Then you don't take exam at all. Your policies should be stricter, and it should not leave any room for any of the private companies to come up with any incorrect answer. next week. Notice returnable on 23rd. The DGP, Mr. Pandya, waives the service of notice for respond number 1 and 2, directs respond number 3.
Without email and
You may hand it over to Mr. Devnan. He will not say no.
I'm out.
And see to it that this tweet is edited. And ask that officer to show restraints to his emotions.